Good morning. I've got a couple things here. I guess we'll play and then Rob's readings. So I have a song that I played on years ago. So thought I'd share that. And I have to hit the present button. I'm very good at this. All right, here we go. Oh, perfect. All right. There we go. Should start now.
There were times I'd gaze into the setting sun, wondering what I'd done. For years I woke up on the go, with nothing I could show. And I was looking for the open door, and I was looking for something more. Time had stood still for ages then, waiting and staring me down. Move for move and stall for stall. Time was short, but all in all, it kept me looking for the open door, kept me looking for something more. Then one day I heard a knock upon my door that led right to my heart. Opened up and let the Lord of life walk in, cleanse me from my sin. So if you're looking for the open door, and you're looking for something more,
Jesus said, I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, finding pasture.
Okay, and now we got, I guess the reason we're here. Got Rob's reading, which I'll share in just a second. Okay. Take me just a moment to get this set up right. There we go.
Thank you for joining us for our Bible in a Year reading for March 23rd, 2023, day 82, beginning with Psalm 37, 1 to 9. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong, for like the grass they will soon wither, like green plants they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture, and delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. We move to Luke 4:38 to 5:16. Jesus left the synagogue and went to the home of Simon. Now Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, and they asked Jesus to help her. So he bent over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. So she got up at once and began to wait on them. At sunset, the people brought to Jesus all who had various kinds of sickness, and laying his hands on each one, he healed them. Moreover, demons came out of the many people, shouting, "You are the Son of God." But he rebuked them and would not allow them to speak, because they knew he was the Messiah. And at daybreak, Jesus went out to a solitary place. The people were looking for him, and when they came to where he was, they tried to keep him from leaving them. But he said, "I must proclaim the good news of the kingdom of God to the other towns also, because that is why I was sent." And he kept on preaching in the synagogues of Judea. Luke 5. One day as Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, the people were crowding around him and listening to the word of God. And he saw at the water's edge 2 boats left there by the fishermen who were washing their nets. And he got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put out a little from shore. And then he sat down and taught the people from the boat. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water, and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." And when they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. And so they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. And when Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord, I am a sinful man." For he and all his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken. And so were James and John, the sons of Zebedee, Simon's partners. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will fish for people." And so they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him. While Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came along who was covered with leprosy, and when he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing," he said. "Be clean." And immediately the leprosy left him. Then Jesus ordered him, "Don't tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing as a testimony to them." Yet the news about Jesus spread all the more, so that crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. We close with Numbers 15, 1 to 16, 1 to 35. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, after you enter the land I am giving you as a home, and you present to the Lord food offerings from the herd or the flock as an aroma pleasing to the Lord, whether burnt offerings or sacrifices, for special vows or free will offerings or festival offerings. And the person who brings an offering shall present to the Lord a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of the finest flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of olive oil. With each lamb for the burnt offering or the sacrifice, prepare 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. And with a ram, prepare a grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour, mixed with 1/3 of a hin of olive oil, and 1/3 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. Offer it as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. And when you prepare a young bull as a burnt offering or sacrifice for a special vow or a fellowship offering to the Lord, bring with the bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with 1/2 of a hin of olive oil, and also bring 1/2 a hin of wine as a drink offering. This will be a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Each bull or ram, each lamb or young goat is to be prepared in this manner. Do this for each one, for as many as you prepare. Everyone who is native born must do these things in this way when they present a food offering as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. For the generations to come, whenever a foreigner or anyone else living among you presents a food offering as an aroma pleasing to the Lord, they must do exactly as you do. The community is to have the same rules for you and for the foreigner residing among you. This is a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. You and the foreigner shall be the same before the Lord. The same laws and regulations will apply both to you and to the foreigner residing among you. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land to which I am taking you and you eat the food of the land, present a portion as an offering to the Lord. Present a loaf from the first of your ground meal and present it as an offering from the threshing floor. And throughout the generations to come, you are to give this offering to the Lord from the first of your ground meal." Now, if any in the community unintentionally fail to keep any of these commands, if you as a community unintentionally fail, the commands the Lord gave Moses, then any of the Lord's commands to you through him, from the day the Lord gave them and continuing through the generations to come, and if this is done unintentionally without the community being aware of it, then the whole community is to offer a young bull for a burnt offering as an aroma pleasing to the Lord, along with its prescribed grain offering and drink offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. The priest is to make atonement for the whole Israelite community, and they will be forgiven, for it was not intentional, and they presented to the Lord for their wrong a food offering and a sin offering. The whole Israelite community and the foreigners residing among them will be forgiven, because all the people were involved in the unintentional wrong. But if just one person sins unintentionally, that person must bring a year-old female goat for a sin offering, and the priest is to make atonement before the Lord for the one who erred by sinning unintentionally. And when atonement has been made, that person will be forgiven. One and the same law applies to everyone who sins unintentionally, whether a native-born Israelite or a foreigner residing among you. But anyone who sins defiantly, whether native-born or foreigner, blasphemes the Lord and must be cut off from the people of Israel. Because they have despised the Lord's word and broken his commands, they must surely be cut off. Their guilt remains on them. While the Israelites were in the wilderness, a man was found gathering wood on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering wood brought him to Moses and Aaron and the whole assembly. and they kept him in custody because it was not clear what should be done to him. And then the Lord said to Moses, "The man must die. The whole assembly must stone him outside the camp." So the assembly took him outside the camp and stoned him to death as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them throughout the generations to come, you are to make tassels on the corners of your garments with a blue cord on each tassel. You will have these tassels to look at, and so you will remember all the commands of the Lord, that you may obey them and not prostitute yourselves by chasing after the lusts of your own hearts and eyes. Then you will remember to obey all my commands and will be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God." Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, became insolent and rose up against Moses. And when they were 250 Israelite men, well-known community leaders who had been appointed members of the council, they came as a group to oppose Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far. The whole community is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is with them. Why then do you set yourselves above the Lord's assembly?" And when Moses heard this, he fell face down. And he said to Korah and all his followers, "In the morning the Lord will show who belongs to him and who is holy, and he will have that person come near him. And the man he chooses he will cause to come near him. You, Korah, and all your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put burning coals and incense in them before the Lord. The man the Lord chooses will be the one who is holy. You Levites have gone too far." Moses also said to Korah, "Now listen, you Levites. Isn't it enough for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the Israelite community and brought you near himself to do the work at the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near himself, but now you are trying to get the priesthood too. It is against the Lord, and you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him?" And then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. But they said, "We will not come. Isn't it enough that you have brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, and now you also want to lord it over us? Moreover, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey or given us an inheritance of fields or vineyards. Do you want to treat these men like slaves? No, we will not come." And then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, "Do not accept their offering. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, nor have I wronged any of them." Moses said to Korah, "You and all your followers are to appear before the Lord tomorrow, you and they and Aaron. Each man is to take his censer and put incense in it, 250 censers in all, and present it before the Lord. You and Aaron are to present your censers also." And so each of them took his censer, put burning coals and incense in it, and stood with Moses and Aaron at the entrance to the tent of meeting. When Korah had gathered all his followers in opposition to them at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the glory of the Lord appeared to the entire assembly. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Separate yourselves from this assembly so I can put an end to them at once." But Moses and Aaron fell face down and cried out, "O Lord, the God who gives breath to all living things, will you be angry with the entire assembly when only one man sins?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the assembly, move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." And Moses got up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he warned the assembly, "Move back from the tents of these wicked men. Do not touch anything belonging to them, or you will be swept away because of all their sins." So they moved away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Dathan and Abiram had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrance to their tents. And then Moses said, "This is how you will know that the Lord has sent me to do all these things, and that it was not my idea. If these men die a natural death and suffer the fate of all mankind, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord brings about something totally new, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them with everything that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the realm of the dead, then you will know that these men have treated the Lord with contempt." And as soon as he finished saying all this, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them and their households, and all those associated with Korah, together with all their possessions. They went down alive into the realm of the dead with everything they owned. The earth closed over them, and they perished and were gone from the community. At their cries, all the Israelites around them fled, shouting, "The earth is going to swallow us too." And fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. Thank you for listening to our Bible in a Year reading for March 23rd, 2023, day 82. If you need to catch up, you can find our playlist at robreed.com.
I want to tell you about someone dear. Cause the thing you think and very near. He's always with you. Just ask me how. He will never forsake you or let you down. I want to tell you about his love. How he cares about us from above. So we'll give up all our hope. Always help us cope. His name is Jesus. He's the way. Just ask him in your heart. Stay. Won't know him if you have a child. Don't you think he'll walk every mile? He's with us, and that's fine. Just ask for him, he's right on time. His name is is Jesus. Is the way. Just ask him in your heart. Stay. His name is Jesus. Is the way. Just ask him in your heart. Stay. His name is Jesus. Is the way. Just ask him in your heart. Stay.
All right. Well, anyhow, boy, oh boy, this whole thing of like pushing the right buttons. Hey, there's Believe. Good to see you. My goodness, Rob does a good job on this. Earlier, well, at the end of Rob's reading and going to that song I played, I was explaining these things, and then realized, well, it didn't matter anyhow. I was on mute, and it's just it helps me realize how good Rob does with this. And I think the funnier part was that I had typed in the side chat from here in StreamYard bragging about how good Rob does. But the worst part about that was it appears that Rob was bragging about himself. So, well, oh, well. Oh, you know what? I did that a number of times. Used to be an inside StreamYard and just typing, and it comes out as me, but it's kind of funny. Oh, well, anyhow, that was me. Thought maybe if anybody would like to join, I can throw a link in here for a couple minutes or whatever. See how that goes. Coffee. There you go. I need some of that too, I think. I figured maybe some, you guys might have something you want to add to it. If I know it's early morning, so a lot of people, well, it's early morning to me. My goodness, 11 o'clock. How do I think that's early morning? But it's early morning to me. And so if it is for other people, I understand. You might not want to join. And then there's other people that are early birds and everything else. Yeah, I don't have my my webcam set up. In the background, I think you did see boxes full of parts and guitars laying everywhere with wonderful scenery. So anyhow, I'm going to get a drink of coffee quick. And then I'll be back to see if anybody had anything they wanted to add or anything like that. They will shut down, and Rob should be back. Rumor is that he wasn't actually abducted in Nevada, wherever he's at, Area 51 or whatever. So that's a good thing, if that's even true. All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. You're counting. There's over 17 people backstage waiting to come in. That's too many. I can't have that. So I'm going to have to close the hangout. Let me see. Let me take a look at. There we go. Happy thoughts. And it's off to get coffee. Yeah, that's what. I don't think it. It's not the only thing that keeps us awake. Well, it might be. I should have started with coffee before I started this. All right, so I hope everybody has a good day. I will confess to lying quickly. So wait a minute, you don't need a priest. You're supposed to just confess your sins one to another. I did make that up. There is nobody backstage. All right, well, I do hope everybody has a good day. And thanks for being here. And thank you, Rob. Take care. Bye now. Did it stop? No, it didn't stop after the second end broadcast. And there's Ben. Good to see you, Ben.